Okay, welcome back to another episode of Smite How to Counter. Today we have Raw. It's pretty important to know how to counter Raw. It's very important to know how to counter everybody in your entire life, because your life would be much easier if you can do that. So let's go into actives. Actives first. So watch out on what actives your enemy Raw is building. Some may be going full on support or aggressive. Regardless, they're probably going to branch up into greater sprint or heavenly agility. Now if they pick up heavenly agility, they tend to be on full on support, just healing everybody, increasing everybody's speed. Or if they pick up greater sprint, then they're just in it for themselves, and it's gonna be a really fast Raw, because Raw is passive if you don't know already. After you use one of your abilities, you gain a small movement speed buff, and they stack up to 3 times. So after the full combination of raw abilities, they'll be moving pretty damn fast, and even faster if they use greater sprints. It's gonna be pretty hard to catch up to Raw if he's doing that. Next, items. Items is very important because Raw can do many things in his life. He can go full on cooldown reduction, or he can go healer, or he can go full on like penetration, just a sheer magical damage machine. So make sure to know which type of Raw you're fighting against. Now, first thing, if they're building full on cooldown reduction Raw, whether it be, cooldown reduction boots and Breastplate of Valor, or cooldown reduction boots, or Chronos Pendants, if they're building full cooldown and reduction, expect mini lasers in your face. Because if you look at his ulti, Searing Pain, even without the full cooldown reduction, without any cooldown reduction, Raw himself has very low cooldowns, more so on his ulti, if anything. And it also goes down as you level up Searing Pain. So late game Raw is using a lot of ulti regardless of cooldown reduction items. And if he has full cooldown reduction items, he's using his ulti every 30 seconds at max rank. So expect a lot of ultis, a lot of heals, a lot of all those above. So more so his ulti. Now back on the topic of his ulti, it always cracks me up when I see people do this. If you're running away from Raw, or if you're anywhere near Raw and you're running in a straight line, more than likely he's going to snipe you. Now, never, especially running away from Raw, never run in a straight line. And sometimes you kind of panic and you don't think about things like this, but you can't. You have this zigzag, strafe, run into curly, make your name in your walk patterns or something like that, because if you run away from Raw just in a straight line, he's gonna snipe you regardless. As a Raw player myself, I do this quite often, is just snipe people that are running away in a straight line. So that's a very important thing to not do, is run away in a straight line. And that goes for many gods that have abilities somewhat similar to Raw. So that's a big one. Never run away in a straight line. Next, see if the Raw is building the Rod of Healing, because if he buys this, he's going to be more slippery, because he's going to have increased movement speed, increased health, and magical power. And then more so, he's going to have increased healing by 15%. So this in combination with high magical powered item, he's going to be healing for a lot. And you may want to shut down that healing if you want. Now, you may already know some of these things, but shutting down healers or high health regeneration gods, weaken a curse, is your man or your woman, or whatever you want it to be, because it's going to reduce their healing by 100%. No percentage is spared there. So pick up Weaken a Curse is going to help shut down them heals. Or you can go into defense, go to magical defense category, and then on top right you see Pestilence, or then go to Testament, then go to Pestilence, and you'll see the healing and regeneration reduced by 20% on the Pestilence. That's going to help counteract that heal. Or you can go into offensive power, or you can just type in Divine Ruin, and you see Divine Ruin. Divine Ruin is the key for mages to shutting down healers or high health regeneration gods, such as Hercules, Vamana, and Shock. So this is going to reduce their healing by 40% for 8 seconds. That's quite a while. So Raw can't really heal himself. He can't really sustain himself as well. So it's gonna be a lot easier time just kind of shutting him down and killing him with a Divine Ruin. Or if you're a physical god, you can buy a Brawler's Beat Stick, It grants you penetration, power, and also reduces enemy healing by 40% as well. But instead of activated upon abilities, you have to use basic attacks to activate it. So just keep that in mind. So that's what you can do there. Now, if the Ra is also building lifesteal, then you're also going to have a harder time fighting him in his circle. Now, that's a big thing. It's really hard. If you're not a bursty character, don't fight him when he's in his... my speakers were turned up. You guys probably heard that. But yeah, if he's if you don't have a lot of bursts in your kit as a god, don't fight him inside of his circle, because he's gonna be able to lifesteal off of you, heal himself, and also do damage to you, and increases his speed because of his passive, all in that circle. So it's important, if you can't burst him down, don't even try to fight him in his circle. It's much like Al Quang, or he's now known as Cuckoo Khan. Don't fight him inside of his, his tornado unless you can burst him down or survive it. So that's another important tip. Another thing is, I hit my desk. Man, I'm destroying this place. So another important thing is his tube. His tube, he glows a really bright sun color, and then he bursts it. So never look into his eyes, or more simply put, don't look anywhere near him. Don't face him, as your character, your god model. Don't face him when he's doing that, because if you do, you're gonna get blinded. So it's really good to just turn away at the last second of that whatever he's channeling there, his sun, because you're just gonna get blinded if you look at him. Oh, now if he also gets gem of isolation, sorry, I can't speak English. Gem of isolation. If he picks this up and he uses his 2 on you, you're going to have a bad time, because you're going to get slowed down by quite a bit, almost to a halt, because his 2 slows as well as doing damage once it detonates. And when it detonates, it's going to apply damage, which is going to apply Gem of Isolation, which is going to slow you down quite a bit there. So if you're having trouble getting away from Ra and he's slowing you down way too much, boom, you can pick up a sprint. That's going to counter that as a whole, and you'll be good to go. Wow, so that's gonna pretty much wrap it up. One more thing is, don't recall if you're laning against, like, let's say the solo lane or the mid lane. Don't recall, if Ra if he plays aggressive, if he's still in lane. Like, make sure you're a very safe distance away from Ra if you're recalling in Conquest, if you're laning against Ra, because I do this myself. If I see an enemy recalling and I'm somewhat close to him, and I can make it to him in time, I'm going to take my chances and try to use my ulti, Searing Pain, snipe you while you're channeling your recall, because you're just a sitting target, and it's really easy to aim at that, and if you're low HP, you will die, certainly. So that's pretty much all the tips and tricks I can give you for that. See you guys next time. Peace.